Welcome to Botches Off Road, and you're just gonna have me and Mark today.
Yep.
Alex is sicky, so we're gonna let him take his little break, and we are gonna hit you guys with a wrap. So we did actually have a pretty interesting weekend. I think both of us did.
Oh yeah, we did.
I'll let Mark start it off with what him and Alex did, and take it away there, man.
All right. So Friday, we decided to go winter camping up at Mix Point. A pretty good spot to do winter camping at. It was actually not bad at all. Been there before. Alex got a battery, and then we also picked up another diesel heater after our previous week of experience. I don't know if that was covered in last week's wrap or not. Yeah, okay. Yep, so we discovered that potentially 3/10 was too much. That or how our vents were lined up, because his sat lower than me and my brother's. Ours set up a little higher, so we were thinking that we were not pushing air the correct way, so it was not distributing but at its potential.
Like more of a back pressure, like it didn't have enough pressure to push all three. Yeah.
So we got those up and running. And then we got Campy up. Alex bought a Ozark propane heater, which was actually a lot bigger than we thought it was going to be. He saw a listing for it down Holland on Facebook. But by the time, I think it was like $40 for it on Facebook Market. By the time you drove down there and back, you probably wasted about as much as in fuel price to buy a new one.
Me. Yeah, I wish you would have told me. I have two of them. I have a buddy heater, then I have like the propane heater you just throw on top of a 20-pounder.
Yeah.
So if you would have just told me, it would have been fine. He could just use it.
Yeah.
I didn't know he planned on it.
He had his buddy heater, but he found out it doesn't work anymore. For some other reason, got broke.
What happened? Do you know if he knows?
I don't know if he knows. He went to test it, and it just wasn't putting it out. I think we had issues last time we used it, too.
I didn't hear that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think it was our Botches yearly last year when we had, after that, Ash. I'm trying to remember when he had issues. Actually, it might have been last spring when we had issues with it, because I think we went to use it in the Campy last year.
The diesel heater?
No, the propane heater.
Oh, the propane heater.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the diesel heater.
No.
I was like, I didn't hear about that not working.
No, the buddy heater.
Yeah, okay.
But, let's see here. Took us about maybe an hour, maybe a little less. I don't think it took us super long to set up. He had his swag, he had the dog swag, or the wolf den, and then we got me and my brother's tent, and then we had the canopies set up.
Right.
We had to do a little bit of shoveling. Oh, and the trail we went on literally had like no tracks, like, so no one's been there like all winter so far. So we got, I want to say, halfway down the short way getting back to Mix Point. We had to air down about halfway through it because he ended up bottoming out or couldn't push any more snow.
Yeah, we had a similar time up in Buckley, but I'll tell you guys more about that later.
Yeah. I want to say just below our knees was how deep it was. Maybe a little bit less than that, but it was a good amount of snow, and it was very powder.
Yep.
So it was very fun trying to drive through.
How'd it go? I mean, did you guys heat well? Was this a lot better
than
last time?
Oh, yes, a lot better than last time. So, not quite familiar with his diesel heater, but me and my brother's diesel heater, it has like 10 different 10 power settings. When we first started up, we got it cranked up to 10, and we chilled in the canopy and had dinner. That way our tents were nice and warm, and it was very toasty. Like, you can open our rain fly, and you can feel all the hot air coming out of the tent. So it was heating ours really well. Nighttime we pretty much did. I think we had it set to 5, and that was comfortable. Had 0 issues with it.
Ran all night then.
Oh yeah, all night. For our dinner, we had venison steak, mashed potato, and corn.
Hell yeah.
Yep, that was really good.
Way better than my dinner.
Um,
So did you do Friday and Saturday or just
we did Friday
Saturday?
and Saturday.
Did Saturday, was that any different as far
We-
as like the heating?
We discovered a couple things.
Yeah.
So Saturday morning, me and my brother forgot to top off our diesel heater, and literally, I think around 10 o'clock, we ran out of fuel. So, I mean, at least we got through until morning. But always
Yeah,
make
that's
sure you top off, that way you don't have to worry about it. And then Alex didn't have all the wires set up yet.
Yeah, I did. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You feeling better there, Alex?
Well, I haven't coughed in a while. My voice still sucks, but it's what it is.
You recording?
I am recording, of
Okay.
course. I'm not going to start talking without recording.
Well, you never know. So I guess Alex decided to join us after all.
I couldn't let you guys have all the fun.
Yeah, okay. We were having plenty of fun.
But yeah,
What are
so
we
he
on?
didn't have all the
Rap
So-
or hour?
rap. We're on the rap.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going. You could have asked before. Look at this. Very professional here. It just peeped right in the middle, something that we're told not to
I mean,
do.
he did try making me do it last week, but then
Yeah,
I did try making Mark do it last week.
yeah. So yeah, you guys had venison steak for Friday. Saturday, you guys realized that your fuel ran out at around 10 a.m. ish. But I'm assuming you guys had no issues with gelling or anything like that, right?
no gelling at all.
Yeah.
I really think
Oh.
that the diesel heaters keep the inside of their case fairly warm. I guess I never put my hand on the case to see if it was, but it never gelled, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, mine stayed cool, but it was never cold. So,
The
Well, then how did
excess
your,
diesel that poured out definitely gelled out though, like the low residue on the top. So it was definitely cold.
oh, sure. Well, so what did you guys do Saturday then?
So we ran in town because Alex didn't have the plugs to plug to his other battery, so it couldn't charge in the vehicle right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I needed some battery terminals.
Yeah.
Mm,
So we ended up going in town, ran a couple errands, dropped the battery off O'Reilly's to charge, and we went to have lunch. We went to the Moondance Cafe.
it's a good place.
Mhm.
It is.
Their French toast is killer. Oh wait, no, it's is it the French toast or the stuffed pancakes or whatever they're called? Couldn't remember
It's
what they're
all
called.
good.
Yeah, I think I had like a peach one. It was like they were stuffed or something, and oh my god, dude. We went there for probably a week straight for breakfast. And then I got tired of it. I was like, all right, I'm over it. But had everything on the menu within that week, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, I had the Heroes Burger from there.
Their coffee though, really good coffee. Like that's for most of the summer we were taking their bagged beans from Moondance Cafe from their little coffee. We were getting the beans from it and then grinding them fresh every morning
Gotcha.
for coffee at camp. Awesome.
So we had lunch, and then we quickly stopped by, picked up the battery again. Went back to camp. I think, you finished putting terminals on before we hooked up the battery again? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Um,
And then we did a length test to see how long the battery would last. So we turned it on at like, I'd say 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We turned on both diesel heaters.
Yeah.
Part of it was so that Wrangler had a warm tent. And then at like,
yeah, 1:30.
was about 1:30. We were discussing going to bed soon, and we
Yeah.
heard both diesel heaters shut off.
I was missing unintentionally pressed the on button, which I think might have messed with the settings. So instead of being the power modes that I was talking about earlier, I put it into the tent mode, what was in supposedly the inside temp for the tent. So
No, it was reading the thermostat, which is on the front of the case, which was outside, and it was trying to make it 80 degrees.
yeah,
at
that's
the thermostat,
yeah.
but it was like -5 at the thermostat.
Oh, do you
Not
have
on
the little
that one, I
extending wire
believe.
that you can bring the display into the tent with? Okay.
Mine does. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
The
that's
other
what
one
I
we
ended
just
up
got
running in
we got
mine.
the first heater that can get here as quickly
Yeah,
as
I-
possible, so it was like one of the cheaper ones. But other than that, that thing
Oh, I get
ran
that.
real well.
Yeah.
It's actually quieter than Alex's.
That's good. You mean, what did you guys do any? Right.
No,
Right.
no,
Did you guys do any like wheeling or anything?
yeah.
No.
Just in and out.
Yeah.
It was just a chill weekend. We didn't do a whole lot of anything.
And I'm assuming
No.
that it was
I mean,
really warm.
yeah.
And nobody got like sick or anything.
He
right?
was sick from chores at
I
the
was
farm.
sick long before we went.
His body was anticipating it. It was like, I'm gonna get sick right now before we even go. So
Yeah,
well, that's good.
We did shavings at the farm, and literally like 2 hours after doing shavings, my sinuses clogged up, and I just have been fighting a sinus thing ever since.
Yeah, I have like bad asthma to like dust and stuff. So like wood shaving dust, hay dust, any kind of like dry grass, that
I
stuff.
was even wearing a mask.
Oh yeah, that stuff gives me like asthma attacks, like to the point where I have to go to the hospital. So I got to be careful around that shit. So that's why I don't do hay anymore. High school, I started having asthma attacks. My grandma was like, "You're being a sissy. Just breathe." I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I'm trying." You get that
Yeah.
old farm lady mentality. It's just work it out. You'll be fine.
But
Oh
so
yeah, we play that a lot.
Yeah, Saturday. We
And then
played
also
cards.
earlier in the day we were
I don't know
playing
if anyone
Liar's
knows the game
Dice.
golf, but we played that for like
Yeah, while we were waiting for the batteries
Yeah.
to recharge.
no, we played 18 holes and then 9 holes.
Yeah.
God, I haven't played cards in a long time. I used to play euchre in high school. You'd have like games where we'd decide not to play like Halo Reach until 4 in the morning, and we'd like play
Yeah.
euchre till 3 a.m. instead, and that was
Yep.
fun. But
We'll
it's
have
kind
to
of the last time
well,
I ever did it.
Yeah.
we'll have to do golf sometime. I think
Doesn't
you'd
take
enjoy
long
it.
to pick
I
up
like
how to play
Uno.
it.
It's a really fun card game.
I like Uno. Uno's fun.
Then we had walking tacos for dinner that night
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we'll have to throw it down sometime. I think, yeah. Those are always super easy. I think I packed a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I didn't eat like any
Yeah,
of the
he
two things.
bought a whole box of
We
So
mixed
unopened
our walking
MREs.
tacos with
So
some
he's
of
like,
the
"Oh,
Mexican
let's grab
dishes
all
from
the
MREs."
Spanish
nice.
related or Mexican food related."
Dude. We got to do like a review on those.
I've got another 6 or 7 boxes.
I don't.
Yeah, we got to do a review on those, like a camp night review, or bring out the mics.
Yeah, I got 4
Upload it onto this.
And I've
for
got-
emergencies.
I've got 5 in my truck, and I think Mark's got 4 in his or 6 in his or some shit.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't know I had 2 or 3 meals of my freeze dried still in my truck. I didn't even know it until I was going through drawers while I was at camp. So for me, I actually went to I went to a whole separate gig up by Buckley. Met up with Mitch, and we met at the Buckley General Store. Talked for a little bit, found out that we were going to be the only ones there for now, and so we kind of got moving, looking for a camp spot for the night. He had some coordinates in mind, and we drove about 15, 20 minutes out onto the road. Went to go turn off the road and saw like a 1.5 foot pile where the snowplows had driven, and we were like, and then it was just deep snow after, and we're like, all right, well, we're going to air down real quick right here. So we aired down, and he took one pass at it, got stuck on the plow hill, and that should have been our our sign that it wasn't meant to be. But I was like, no big deal, got the kinetic rope out real quick, pulled him out. He tried it again, pulled him out one more time, hit it the third time, and boom, got through. And then so he got through, stopped, I pulled through, and then we started trucking down that, and I think we made it probably a couple 100 yards before we started to realize it's getting deep quick. Like, once we got over that hill, it was already like a foot deep, and then past that, it just started getting deeper and deeper as we got into the woods, and we got probably,
for anyone that doesn't know about Michigan snow, we don't get that hard pack, right? We just have fluff.
Yeah.
So when you're 1.5 feet deep, it's 1.5 feet to ice. There's no hard pack to grip. There's nothing. It's just 1.5 feet of snow, wet, icy leaves underneath.
Yep. So, and I think luckily over here, I think up north, I was about 2 hours north, they had like a small amount of hard pack, but it wasn't like the trucks could still break through it. If you started spinning, that's all it took to kind of break through the hard pack, and then you were fucked. So anyway, we got through that. We got about, I'd say, a couple 100 yards into the trail, and immediately got stuck. Mitch got stuck. I pulled him back, and he could not get into the ruts. We were in about 2 feet of snow, and once you kind of get pulled out of those ruts, it's really hard to bring yourself back in. You can try steering all you want, driving back into it, and it won't let you. So
especially on all terrains. All terrains are they're not good in that kind of snow.
Yeah. So anyway, I eventually pulled him out far enough that he could get back into the ruts. But it took a little bit, and we started driving, and then I went in, and I was just driving, but when you got 2.5 some feet of snow, you can't tell what the trail really looks like on either side. You can see small indentations. I mean, it's hard to know. And on the left and right side of the trail were like washouts where like Jeeps would go in and just like tear the fuck out of it or something. I just assume it's a Jeep because that's typical XJ owner activities. So so immediately I got pulled into one of those, and that pulled me off the road. Into the ditch a little bit as soon as I hit that rut. And that was kind of a doozy. He tried pulling me out, and he kind of got stuck trying to yank me. He kind of sank right through that little pack, and there was another like 6 inches of snow underneath that, and he was just digging too, so I ended up trying to winch myself out. I winched myself forward a little bit, and then he tried to back up. We connected both of our kinetic ropes together because he couldn't get close enough without sinking in. So he got to a better place where he could actually go forward and backward a little bit, pulled me, eventually got out of that. And we were kind of thinking about what to do next, and then he got stuck again, trying to go through. So then he got stuck. He only had a few winch points to go through, and they weren't enough to get him back kind of where we wanted to go. And so we were both trying to figure it out, and I'm like, well, maybe if I can get over here. There's kind of like a turnaround point, like a like a drive almost. And I'm like, well, maybe if I could pull around here, the snow might be shallower up here into this area, and then I could try to turn around and pull us out. So I was facing the opposite direction to be able to pull us out. And I pulled into that. Nope, even deeper. So I was getting snow just about at headlight level. So I'm on 33s and lifted 3 inches. So headlight level is pretty good. That's it was over my hips at that point. So yeah, I was frozen. My feet were frozen from our knees down. Were complete solid, and I had snow from pretty much my hips down. We were just not having a good time. So that took me a long time to get out of. Him pulling me winching, almost 90 degrees to the left to the tree just to help push me out. And at some point, he was able to get turned around by some grace of God. During all that, I think it was just because we were running over that certain area so many times that we packed it down enough. And I was trying to get up and turn around because I was wedged in between 2 trees, so I wasn't able to turn. And so I went onto new trail, farther than we had driven, and then got stuck again. And that took us probably another 45 minutes to an hour. And so we were there in a total of like 4 hours. Within not even I would say maybe a quarter mile into that trail for 4 hours, just trying to get turned around at that point and get out of there. And when we finally got out, we were both kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe we got it. It was already dark. We met at like 2, left at like 2:30, and we left at like 6 something. So we were there for a while, just pulling and trying to get out of there, recovering. So he asked if I wanted to keep like looking for trails, or he knew a spot where it was plowed that we could go. And I was like, let's just go there. I don't want to play anymore. I want to set up camp. I was done. I was cold, freezing my ass off. I couldn't feel my toes. So we got there. He started setting up his camp, working on the fire. I sat in my truck for a little bit just to warm my toes up. When I was ready to go, I started setting up camp, and it was just, I brought my Nemo Dagger. That was a 2-season tent, mostly mesh, and ended up being my downfall later on, but I started setting that up, and man, it had been probably a year and a half since I'd set that up last spring maybe. So I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, really. Like, it'd been a while. And setting it up, and as soon as I start setting it up, it starts heavy snowing. So I'm getting snow in the tent. He comes over, helps me. Where we're at, we can't really stake it down, so so it was sliding all over the place with the tarp and everything, and it was just a pain. I was getting stressed out. I was cold, and so anyway, I eventually got it set up, and then as soon as I got it set up and my gear in there and everything ready, diesel heater on, that was starting to get warm. I was looking happy, forward to it. Then the wind started picking up out of nowhere. We're in the woods, but the wind was coming through from the fields. It was kind of sheltered like Alex's little camp spot on his property.
Gotcha.
Like, there were trees around us, but it wasn't enough to shelter from like field
wind. No, especially during the wintertime when all that cover's gone.
Yeah. So we were starting to get that wind come in, and oh my God, dude, it was frigid. We were good into the, probably a couple under negative, and with that wind coming in, like, as I'm breathing, my mustache is freezing, and we're sitting pretty much in the fire. Like, I'm in the fire. The front of my boot melted, but I didn't even care because my toes were so cold. I looked at the front of my boot and it's all melted up. I'm like, I don't care. I don't. Like, I was so frozen that I didn't even.
I was surprised. Saturday night, my feet could not get warm. I took it off and about had my foot right on the propane heater. I was surprised I didn't burn those fucking socks off my foot.
Oh yeah. I was about ready to go. But I was just cold, man. It was a long day. I got back issues, so pulling free spool on that winch through like 2.5, 3 feet of snow, a little over 3 foot at some points. Like, it was just killing my back. So my back was already sore. I could feel that I tweaked it a little. Cold. And my core temp was just, it was just low. I could tell I couldn't get warm. Like, I was warm on the outside, but I could tell my core temp wasn't. And so I'm like, screw it. I wasn't even going to eat anything, but he was eating some food, and I'm like, yeah, maybe some hot food will help. And I had a can of red beans and rice and some sausage, and I fried the sausage up, add the can of red beans and rice, and I ate that. And fuck, that was good. It's probably the best camp meal I've had as of late, just because of like how much it helped me. It's bad, you know, like when you drink like hot soup and you could feel it go down into your stomach.
Yeah.
And that's how it was with that red beans and rice. It was boiling a second ago, and I put it right in my bowl and started eating it.
I'm too cold.
You know,
it's not going to bother me.
Yeah, I'm swishing it around in my mouth and blowing out. You can look like a dragon with the cold air, and I'm just trying to like get it down. And I felt it go down through my throat, down into my stomach, and immediately started getting warmer. And I'm like, oh. I'm sitting there moaning while I'm eating it. I'm just like, oh, God. Like, Mitch, you want any of this? He's like, I'm good. I'm like, that's good, because I'm just... And then at some point it cooled down enough to where I could just eat it plainly, and I was just mowing down on it. I didn't realize that I hadn't eaten anything all day either, so I ate that. I brought some of my tea, that diet blueberry green tea that I love.
Yep.
Brought some of that in my Nalgene and drank some of that. Finally, with the wind picking up and the way that we had it in the snowbank, the fire started just kicking smoke into our faces like crazy, and we couldn't get away from it. So at that point, we were just like, yep, we're tired. Let's go. So I got into the tent and started that long process. Anybody who knows, like, you were working all day or you're doing recoveries and you get sweaty feet or you get wet feet, you're always supposed to change your socks into dry socks. So I took my socks off, took my pants off. Those were frozen. Still frozen at, like, the ankles down.
Yep.
The fire did dry them out from the knees to the ankles, though, so that was good. And thawed all that out and took all those off, changed into some pajamas, got into the sleeping bag, and core temp was still low. I was still chilled. The thermometer on the top of my tent it's also like a carbon monoxide meter, but that was reading like, it was like 45 at first, then it got up to like 60, and I'm like, dude, 60 should be no problem for me, but for some reason I was still cold, and I'm like, oh, it's probably because it's on the top of the tent, like the top area, like down by the bottom of the tent, it's probably way colder. And I only had the diesel heater on to like 5. I was trying to conserve it a little bit. I didn't want to go too hot because I didn't want to melt the tent. Thankfully, I didn't have any issues with it melting the tent or anything, the fabric or anything just being too hot, because I just had it thrown in through the door on the one side. So that was cold, man. I was freezing. I ended up opening the foot box of my sleeping bag. I have zippers on the bottom too, so I could open my foot box if I needed to cool my feet down. And I threw the pipe in my sleeping bag, and that was fucking phenomenal. That whole night, I was like, why can't I sleep like this? I could have put it to 1 and sat there and slept in a comfortable, like, 80 degrees. 80 degrees is comfortable with me at that when I was as cold as I was. And, oh, dude, I felt so good. I started to fall asleep with it in there, but then I was like, no, it's going to, like, shut off the diesel heater. Because if you're not getting any, if the air's not being able to flow through the diesel heater, get pushed out, it'll shut it off too. So if you're blocking that output, it'll shut it off. So I was like, all right. Because I was sitting there with my hands like this in a triangle to let all the hot air through the sleeping bag. And man, oh, dude, I was so comfortable. The whole time I was thinking of ways, like I was like, maybe I should go get some sticks and put them in my sleeping bag to make like a tunnel so that I could just be heated all night through my sleeping bag. Because it was just perfect.
Get a piece of PVC and just make an arch so it blows right in your bag.
Dude, like fishing pole, something bendable like that. Oh God.
Imagine putting a diesel heater through like a bivvy or something.
Oh yeah, dude. That was heaven. I started falling asleep with my hands in a pyramid to keep the tunnel, and I was like, okay. So I actually pulled the hose in more, about 2 feet into there, moved my sleeping bag closer, or my sleeping pad and bag closer to the middle, and let it channel through the side, and kind of laid with my head down towards that side, and I think I got at the most probably like 30 minutes of sleep at a time. So concerned with like the diesel heater shutting off, plus my core temp never really recovered, and I was just having a hell of a time. So
Yeah, it was like me last weekend. I don't think I actually got any form of sleep that first night we were trying.
yeah, it was
I ended
like
up
30 minutes at the most for me.
yeah, I went down, went inside and fell asleep inside. I'm like, I can't do it anymore because I rotated in my sleeping bag and lost all my temperature I had in it.
Yeah, I was rotating just to keep my my back warm. So I think it was about 1:30 because I took video of it. 1:30 I wake up and it somehow got dramatically cooler in my tent. I'm like, what the fuck? Did I get like another wind gust that came in? Because the wind was still blowing and it was coming underneath my rainfly and just pushing all the hot air out.
Yep.
So I thought I was getting one of those. And I go and feel my port and I'm like, oh fuck, this is cold air. What's going on? And I look at my app on my phone and it says diesel. It was like oil pump fault. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, am I going to freeze to fucking death? Like, I knew I wasn't, but I was just like in my mind, I'm like, God damn it. So I got that, waited for it to shut off completely and just restarted it, and it turned right back on, started pumping, doing just fine. But after that, I was so like worried about it. I barely slept at all after that either. And about 6:30 p.m., I heard Mitch walking around out there. I could hear him starting a fire. And I kind of came out, I'm like, hey, are you up? And he's like, yeah, I'm getting up. And I'm like, okay. I was like, maybe I should get up too. And I'm sitting there. I threw the port through my sleeping bag again. And I'm like, yeah, this is nice. Sat there for a little bit longer, took it back out. And then all of a sudden, a couple minutes later, the diesel heater shut off again. And I'm like, fuck, well, I guess I'm getting up now. So thankfully, I moved the heater hose throughout the night. Put it in front of my shoes to dry my shoes out. Put it in my pants to dry my pants out. So everything was dry. And
why did it shut off the second time?
I didn't actually check. I'm assuming it was low fuel because it was pretty low. But at that point, I was already cold and stuff, and I went straight to the fire. And then Mitch offered. He said his mom's house was close by, and that we could chill there for a little bit and kind of warm up, get a hot cup of coffee. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. That sounds really good right now. So we went over there, got some hot coffee, warmed up, and just talked, bullshitted. You know, I talked with Mitch a little bit, you know, throughout camping and stuff, but usually I'm with the family, so I got my own thing going on. And so it was nice to just kind of talk to him a little bit. And we finally got our cup of coffee in, warmed up, and went back out, packed up camp. I told Mitch, I said, I learned what I needed to learn. I learned that this type of camping would not be sustainable for my family, and that's what I wanted to learn. So, you know, I said this would work for me in a pinch. This tent would not work for my family. This setup would not work for us, you know, long term for like a weekend. I said, so I got my information. So I was like, I'm not interested in staying another night. He's like, oh, that's cool. You know, like, I get it. Like, no problem. And I'm like, cool. So we packed up. He's like, well, do you want to just go home? I'm like, no. We can hang out if you want. I said, you know, if you want, we could do some trails. He's like, yeah, I'd like to check out the High Rollaway Trail and stuff. And I'm like, cool, let's go. So we got packed up, aired up, because High Rollaway, he said, was plowed. It was. It was plowed. It wasn't 2.5, 3 feet of snow. It was like 6 to 8 inches of snow with some pack and then another 3 inches of snow. So we got into that, aired up, and we were doing fine. We were sitting in those ruts that were already in there from another car, and they were just pulling us all over those fucking ruts. I could see him fucking squiggling around in the ruts as he was going, and I was doing the same thing. And then finally we got up to an incline. It was probably like a 100-yard incline, and it was just like an open field area. It was a little bit deeper snow, and you could see he made it all the way almost up, and then you could just watch the truck go dun, 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 and sink as he was digging in. He backed up, gave it a few more tries, and I'm like, I don't think I want to do this again. He goes, nope, me either. I was like, you ready? You want to just turn around? He's like, yeah. And then I also was having stomach issues, so I'm like, I think I need to turn around or it's going to happen here. So we went to turn around, and he got stuck again. I gave him a quick yank and pulled him out, and we went back to the general store, and I got to use the outdoor bathroom, which was great.
You guys just brought the diesel heater? Throwing the diesel heater through the door?
Yeah, setting up the diesel heater was more of a pain to do that, for sure. But yeah, and then I ended up going home a little bit after Mike showed up, and they went out and did some stuff, so that's pretty much how my weekend went.
Yeah. Well, do we want to get into the hour? Gavin needs a timeout.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
go
good.
to the hour.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
Later.